also got this story from the Daily Mail. This is Celine Dion, who is now 56 years old, has stiff person syndrome, where she gets these horrible cramps and loss of mobility of her limbs. You know, such a great person, had a beautiful personality. She was always so nice to people, so open, and when people wanted to meet her, she gave them a full, pleasant experience. Everybody loved uh, Celine Dion. I never met her, but I certainly enjoyed her from the moment she came out belting out her songs. You know, she was the one who was placed in the hands of a manager who she ended up marrying. She was only a young teen when they got together. It's believed, of course, he manipulated her. He knew that she had a great talent and she depended on him. She then loved him madly. They got married. She had a fabulous career. She was singing every kind of song, and she was outdoing the artists that had created the song. A lot of artists didn't want to sing next to her because she could sing their songs better than they could sing. And I remember one person, I think it was Paula Abdul, who was kind of shied away from singing next to Celine Dion because Celine Dion was such a great singer, very energetic. So she got married. She had this fabulous wedding, and she did stints in Las Vegas because her husband loved to gamble, and he was gambling heavily because she was making tons of money. And then, of course, later he died because he was much older than her, and he died. And after his death, she was, of course, very upset, but she did manage to have, I believe she has 3 sons, one set of twins and another son by her husband, and they seem to have turned out to be very supportive to her. Now, I don't know what's really going on, but that's what the media reports. But now she has this stiff person syndrome, and it's really so sad. It's such a nice person. She comes from a large family. I can't remember, but I think her mom had like 15 kids. She was one of the youngest part of the group, and of course, her spectacular income helped her whole family. She's from Canada, speaks French. Her family speaks French, and she helped her family tremendously by being such a great singer. She's here describing the fact that she loves shoes. Let me get back up here. She loves shoes, and she would put her feet into any type of shoe from size 6 to size 10. She said she would make it fit, and she's showing how her toes would be crunched up in some of these shoes. They'd be all balled up because they were too small for her feet. But she said if she liked the shoe, she would wear it. She says she has 10,000 pairs of shoes. And this is in her, I guess, shoe room where you see all those boxes. And I guess they all contain some of her massive shoe collection. I would advise her to give those shoes to friends and family, and then let them go out to the world to people who need it. There are places that help poor people dress for success. And you can give your unused items to these places. And when women try to change their lives and go out and get jobs or go for job interviews and they need shoes or outfits to wear, that's a great place to donate. But there's so many places, you know, clearly with her current problem and her age, she is not going to need 10,000 pairs of shoes. And that's just cluttering up her life. I would advise her to get rid of those shoes. And here she is again talking about all of her shoes and how they made her feel so happy. She loved her shoes. This is back late in her heyday, singing, having a great time on the stage. She also did one of the first things that I saw. She would make these videos for people who wanted to sing with her as a duet, but you know, she didn't really want to sing with them. She made these videos where they could take them on stage. They could play the video on stage and they could sing next to Celine Dion. It was kind of a karaoke deal, and it was really great. You really got the feeling that Celine was there singing with the person you probably had paid for to sing in the theater. And I don't know how much she charged for those or what the deal was, but it was really the first time I'd ever seen a great singer do that. But it was so wonderful that she did that because it really helped the show for the artist who was presenting their particular songs. Now here she is after having had a seizure and a spasm episode, and they laid her down. They say the seizure lasted about 10 minutes. She was gasping for breath afterwards, but you can see she is so thin. She is tearing in the eyes. And I used to get leg cramps. I had a period where they would come regularly, and it was after I hurt my back. And these leg cramps were so painful, and they would last minutes, but they were so painful it seemed much longer. You know, you would dread them. You would dread it. You could tell it coming on, and then I would go into a massive leg cramp. You couldn't even touch my leg. My leg was so sore. So I can sympathize with her when you have muscle cramping. It is painful. And I don't know. I didn't really take anything for mine. I would do massage. I would try to find a place I could attempt to touch my spasm, and then I would try to slowly massage out the cramp. But it didn't really work, but it did mentally. I think it helped me think I was relieving my cramp. I'm sure there are some muscle relaxers or something that they could give her that would help her with her seizures, but I never tried a muscle relaxer, so I don't know. And here it shows how she goes into these contractures. You know, it really breaks my heart to see such a wonderful person having these problems. And then here they are giving her something through the nose, a nasal spray, which they say helps when she gets these spasms. And here she is recovering. She said she wanted to be filmed having these, so it wasn't done against her will or sneakily. She said, I guess she's doing a documentary on her life, and she wanted to show how grueling and life changing these spasms were. Now, she never revealed what other family problems are present. I mean, with 15 kids, you would think that, there might be other things. Now, Celine Dion, normally long, beautiful hair. I guess I don't know if they were all wigs or what, but here you can see her definite hair changes as she's going through this phase of her life. And this is after the spasm. She's able to sit up, and she is still recovering from the spasm. She says she wants to get back in control of her body and her life. She wants to go out and sing again, and do more entertaining. But if these are coming on without control, I don't know how she would do a show. Let me see. So I think that's all that was in that article about pictures of Celine Dion. And then they talked about stiff person syndrome. But very rare syndrome. Muscle cramps are not rare. Spasms are not rare. But this stiff person syndrome that she's getting over her whole body is supposed to be very, very rare. Again, looking at her genetics would be very interesting. Looking at her other family members would be very interesting to see how this is, possibly linked in her family. And of course, her children would be very interested in knowing what risk they have of possibly getting this in the future. So our hearts go out, our love go out to Celine Dion. We wish her the best. We hope that she finds some sort of medication that will help her relieve those cramps, and especially seizures. If she's now getting seizures, that's going to affect her brain, and that creates a whole new set of problems. So we hope that resolves. And Celine, we are thinking about you. We care about you. Thank you for all of your past shows and television appearances, which gave us much pleasure and enjoyment, and for the great way you treated the public and your fans. And we are praying and wish you the best. Like and subscribe. Bye.